the market, and it arrives in the U.S. tomorrow. But some people are standing in line already trying to buy this toy. NBC 17's Larry Pickett is live in Raleigh with all the excitement.
Wow! Oh, yes! Excellent! Keep it up! Wow! Oh, yes!
Who are you?
Let's just say that I'm a ghost, coming back to haunt your...
There's a lot to choose from, so you can still be expressive. Some outfits are a bit more creative than the others, but hey, just pick whatever fits your style. Let me create some...
Really funny like this. On this next cutscene, animations are exactly the same on all three. But let's just compare the Dreamcast and Xbox so we could just see more.
Break last year's gift sub record. We had 10,800 sub points last year. I wonder if we can do it again. Let me show you.
Let my Tombogiri be your passage to hell!
Let's see what we can find over here. It's awfully bright over here, though. If there was anyone walking over in this direction...
He's in here!
He helps one for a bit by shoving her into a bottle, but that's besides the point. This is Link's journey, a wholly selfish affair that starts shortly after the timeline of...
I'd be sure to have it ready to go no matter how little time they...
Alright, so I quit out of there. There's a little bit more talking. So it's really great. You have...
Franklin Institute at one point.
I don't think this is real, James.
And no, it was real. And this guy had, he had all these different shits and was like...
These missions typically take the longest, which is traded off with there being less RPG-style missions in the game than the other types.
Miss Tron, what happened to Pikachu?
so I'll just restart this here real quick. Click, boop, and here we go. Now I'm gonna skip back to where I was.
You know when to quit. We've got to get everyone out.
Another pot left, which kind of sucks. Often they refuse to pick up certain weapons entirely, which I would assume is more from lack of programming than their personal preference. For the majority...
One recharging. Command APC taking friendly fire. Enemy attacking squad 1. Command A.
Down, up, down, shoot, shoot, shoot.
Up, down, shoot, shoot, shoot.
Up, down, shoot, shoot, shoot.
Up, down,
So, how to tell if your guild is bad, or the guy wouldn't get out of the fire? Well, replace the fire with sunlight, and you've got how your COD reacts. I hope you saved up all your revive scrolls, or came around to the...
over and over until it happened to work. You have to really pick a certain skill or playstyle and just stick with it. By the end of the game, you're given enough points to master a single skill, maybe 2 if you've done a lot of the
Yes?
I'm ready. Make way.
What?
Exchanges in Rue's story occur because of Mint's near-perfect comedic timing. Her story begins in a castle. She's busy being a sarcastic and disagreeable toot as her sister...
Bolos, and of course, the Grandmaster Mayo himself. Not to mention plenty of anti-gravity fun as well. 'Twas always one of the best things about the original.
Start from scratch just like Lufia, but I just like that sneak preview the game gives you so you know what to expect later. There's also a lot of other aspects involved in the combat system too. The element system also affects...
We can just repair it later. Not sure if we'll get more wood as time goes by. Time will show.
Dragon Quest VII is 4 hours? You know what? The title screen for this game had a boat on it. I should have guessed boat was going to be a thing.
Playstyle the best. You have the big heavy characters such as Bowser, who are slow but powerful. Then you have characters who are nimble and quick and small, such as Toad.
what the cost. There are innocent people at Omnitech, and they need our help right now. I won't let them down. Then I'll stop Venom. And this time, it's for the last time. I told you.
After a brief interlude, Voyager is attacked by an unknown assailant, suffering massive damage and being subsequently transported.
Go for the
And finally, that little arrow at the top of the screen has a purpose, vaguely telling you where the next vampire is going to jump out at. However, the platforming here really isn't that.
Resided in this castle. Carmilla? People used to call her the Bloody Countess.
Kicked off by Lume. Numenon! Cranks it! Pushed aside by Hashik. Ward gets muscled off
Would you like to help me?
Well,
Of course you would. Come with me.
Listen, lady, I'd love to help you, but...
Well, of course you'd love to help.
And then making them pay tribute to you, or just selling olive oil to nearby towns. There has to be a way for you to acquire.
And just so friggin' cool that I just enjoy being here, let alone traveling around and finding new things. And of course, it goes without saying that the graphics, art direction, and especially the music play a huge
towards making the game more competitive, as berries and held items have a huge impact on the competitive Pokemon scene today. One of the craziest things Generation 2 did that we still haven't seen to this day.
That's because you did something really special. Yeah, really cool.
Very hard to aim. The controls are butter smooth, and it also has quite a liberal auto-aiming system, but there's no checkpoints or any of that nonsense, so you have to finish each mission in one go.
Combo! Give yourself a high five.
Who are you, Big Daddy? Hey, who are you, Big
You must surrender 2 of your team. Very well. Choose.
How did that cause an explosion? Is this James Bond now? Am I playing James Bond? Nerd on a wire. That's not very nice. Why are you calling him a nerd? What is even going on? This doesn't seem
If it was new, my mind would have exploded. It spans 4 discs, or I guess technically 3 discs on the Sega Dreamcast. And it's not like a modern game where you can just skip.
My sword was my wit. Now look at me. I'm married to the most beautiful governmental official in the Caribbean. The entire Tri-Island area shudders at the sound of my name. And now my...
What about the targets?
Not sure yet.
Pardon me, do you have the time?
No, sir, I do not have a dime, and I don't have much use for...
Final Fantasy games is a strong identification of writing and story development. Above any game in the franchise, I would say that 9 has one of the most coherent stories, laden with a strong theme.
Checkpoint! The game plays much like other third-person games of the
Enemies can
time.
even be killed by jumping on their head Mario style, which is something I didn't discover until later in the game, but it definitely came in handy once I did figure it out. Down button allows you to update your collectibles total. This results in you being unable to tell how much is left in your meter, and if you get a collectible while in one of the levels set in the sky, you better hope you're not hovering over a bottomless pit.
Cards moving and hopefully dropping giant weights on your friends, opponents, cats.
To transmit the mana to you. Move. Enemy sighted.
By the Soviet Army in 1949, who designated it the AK-47 after the inventor Kalashnikov and the year he invented it.
Like the first game, open up even more creative ways for you to collect jiggies and progress through the quest. As you can probably tell so far, one of the biggest improvements over the first
Their ship is probably close by, cloaked from our sensors. Go to red alert.
On top of that, the difficulty level is managed just well enough that you can get by without having to do any grinding while still having the occasional challenging boss fight.
Defend, attack, and retrieve, making them formidable and fun to play. You'll spend several missions and hours playing as Baz, growing your mech army, building bases, and commanding your buddies to do
much of the time. My personal favourite addition though was the addition of the new characters. Daisy and Waluigi have been added to the cast of playable characters. Whilst 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups were out of favour at this time, the game does nothing to help regenerate the genre. You walk around aimlessly attacking a few generic enemies, find a key
I
or
now
hit...
know why Zelda consistently took it to the female gender. While playing Dark Cloud, you have a lot to think about. Your weapon has HP and it'll break when it reaches 0. You have to
online gaming on this Sega Dreamcast, which was like such an incredible console that we loved so dearly. This game was a recipe for magic. It was every